This was from Facebook's VP of ads, Rob Goldman. And so he just did a post on Facebook. I have the notes here. And this is a big response to what Facebook has been doing in terms of the political ads that were, with the Russian trolls, and that, Facebook's been trying to adhere to their policies or update them. So he just gave out a statement. And there's a couple of real kind of big things here in terms of what they're going to change. So let me run down kind of the bullet points in regards to this. If you guys have any questions about this or want to know more, this definitely will impact Facebook advertising and what it means for advertisers moving forward. And I'll explain that. I mean, it's going to impact you for sure. But let me go through some of the changes in terms of what he says in this statement. You can find it online. This is the title of the article. I think that's backwards, but it's update on our advertising transparency and efforts. So here's kind of the rundown. They're fighting back to be like, hey, we're going to try to be more transparent. Starting today, we're going to make advertising more transparent, not just, and he makes a point here, and he says we're going to make ads transparent and not just for political ads. And this is why it's a big deal, is because some of these changes could be rolled out system-wide, and there's a lot of impacts that'll go back and forth on this. So let me read a couple things that he's got here. Starting next month, people will be able to click a button that says View Ads on a page, and view ads a page is running on Facebook, Instagram, and Messenger, whether or not the person is viewing or in the intended audience for the ad. What this means, let me break this down. You would be able to see all ads any advertiser is running, regardless of if you are targeted or not. So currently right now, you can only see ads if you fall into that segment, which means only certain people can see only the targeted people can see those type of ads. Facebook is now saying, and this looks like it's going to be implemented first for political ads, secondly for all advertising, which means all ads you've ever run, you would be able to look at any page, any advertisers, companies, brands, and look at all the ads that they've run across the board, which means all of your advertising on Facebook will now be seen by everyone, which I guess in some extent that sounds great, but also that adds an additional level of what could be transparency, scrutiny if you've ever had ads that maybe weren't good or weren't targeted correctly. All of that opens the door now to where everyone will start to be able to see what's going on with the ads that are running. All pages will be part of this effort, and we require that all ads be associated with a page as part of the ad creation process. Already this exists now, so that's not really a change. You can't run a Facebook ad unless there is a fan page associated. But I think some of the things is how they're going to now start to link those and verify actual valid users or people that are associated with a page. They're going to start rolling out this test in Canada immediately. So Canada first, and then they're going to start doing it in the States later on this summer, leading up to what will be the next election in the United States. So, they said Canada's got an election coming up, so they're like, it's a natural place to be able to start rolling it out for them, so there's more transparency. And then at some extent, they said we'll roll it out to all other countries beyond that after that point in time. So here's some of the specifics in regards to what this actually means. During this initial test, we will only show active ads, meaning ads that people are actively paying for at that moment and point in time. However, we plan to begin building an archive of federal election-related ads so we can show both current and historical federal election-related ads. So what this means is they're now building a database and an archive of all ads, for political ads first, but it makes it sound like they're going to be doing this for every advertiser down the road, is a giant pool that will go back up to 4 years. So they're beginning it now, and they're saying we're going to start, allowing you to see what's active first. Then what we're going to do is we're going to start having these be in a pool for up to 4 years, where you can view any of the ads that a political candidate has done in the past. And then beyond that, they said we're going to start building an archive to where we'll be able to go back in time from right now and eventually be able to fill out all the ads that ran for any advertiser. So this means, to some extent, all the ads that ran for the last election, at least in the States, would at some point become available for everyone to be able to see, which means all of Hillary Clinton's ads would now be public knowledge. All of Donald Trump's ads would now be public knowledge. And I think this is going to open up, a massive amount of discussion in terms of what actually happened and what went into the election, at least in the States, the last one, because there was a lot of speculation about how it happened and what actually did get involved in terms of the Facebook advertising, which Donald Trump attributed a lot of his success to. So to some extent, all of that's going to be opened up and will eventually become what looks like public knowledge, which is, again, fascinating that Facebook is saying, hey, we're going to be transparent. We're going to open up this information. It's all going to be out there, and we'll see what happens from there. A couple other things. So a searchable archive, which will remain for 4 years, is one of the things that they're going to have. They're going to also provide details for the total dollar amount spent on that ad. So what happens is you'll be able to look and see how much money was actually spent by that political advertiser, and how much the total spent, how many impressions were delivered, and the demographic information of people who were reached by that ad. Now, this is all, again, in response to mainly political ads. And this is what's interesting is, again, going back to one of his first statements here is, we're going to make advertising more transparent and not just for political ads. So what does this mean is these changes are most likely at some point, or could come to your campaigns, which means, as you're advertising for a product or service, people would be able to see what your budgets are, how much you've actually spent, who you targeted with your ads, the total number of impressions that were delivered. And so, I mean, this is big stuff that, to some extent generally is kind of hidden behind the scenes. And Facebook is now saying it's going to be 100% transparent for political ads, and what looks like could potentially roll out for other advertisers as well. Some of the other things that they're going to say, they're also going to now start to make political advertisers verify their information, which means you can't just create a page and be like, this is the Donald Trump political ad campaign, right? Because right now anyone can create a page on any topic that they want, and begin running ads on that to where it makes it look like it was coming from the Donald Trump political campaign. No longer can you do that. This now means they're going to be validating who the actual people are through a series of process. And so every political advertiser will need to verify their information before they can ever start to run an ad. This step essentially would kind of kick out what would be the Russian trolls. They would have no ability to do this, at least not easily at this point in time. So now Facebook is going to be trying to validate who it is that's placing the ad, how it's running, and what they've done is they said that they've begun to build kind of an automated tool that will detect any of these political advertisers and immediately go to them and be like, hey, you need to validate your information. You need to go through this process where you have to upload, I'm trying to think if they say, additional information, documentation that can verify that you are in fact that political cause or that political candidate, or in the marketing department that's helping them with their ads. So, big changes there. And there's a couple things more, but what do you guys think? Like, I'd love to know your opinion on this topic. Like, do you have questions? Do you think this is a good thing that Facebook would, to some extent, now be 100% transparent and share all of your information? Whether you have a very targeted campaign, you've only spent a couple $100s, someone would see that. If you spent huge amounts of money going for, another specific cause or for a fan page, is that something that you would want consumers to know about your ad campaigns? Is it not a big deal at all? I mean, let's be honest, most people probably don't click, why am I seeing this ad? Or what's coming from it? Or would you be very interested to know that, so that as you see ads from the advertisers that are coming through, you'd be able to look behind the scenes and be like, what else are these companies running? How much have they spent? How big are their marketing budgets in terms of dollars? I mean, there's just all sorts of thoughts that are running through my head on this one, mainly from an agency side. Because now, all our clients' budgets could potentially be open knowledge, as well as other clients, competitors. All of that is now what looks like a little bit to become an open or a level playing field. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this update. I wanted to make sure I got this out. This seems like it's a big change for Facebook. I think it's to some extent a change for the better, especially in terms of political ads. I think people in today's day and age generally want transparency. No one likes being tricked or being duped into clicking somewhere or supporting something that really wasn't that. So I think anytime that systems or processes can be put into place that will help make things more transparent are generally a good thing. So that's my thoughts, but it's very interesting in terms of the ramifications that will be coming out of this on Facebook's level, and also for advertisers that are on the system. So anyway, I'm sure there'll be more updates on this coming out in the future, but for now I just want to give you guys a quick update so you know about it, know to prepare for it, know to plan for it. So hope you guys have a fantastic day, a great weekend, and I will see you guys later. Bye.